Hi, this is William, and this is the 10th devlog. This update is going to be focusing on traps and lockpicking. So what we'll do is going to go to the test scene, do all our early testing. There. Yeah, while that loads, just a heads up, the single player demo will be coming on Next Fest and Steam in June. I've been focusing a lot on the demo, try to get as polished as possible, good first impressions. So yeah, if you're interested, in June you'll be able to play the game free, test out that single player level that I've been working on. Alright, forgot to realize that I changed the lighting on all the areas, so it is a bit darker here than I anticipated, but anyways. Alright, so small update with actual pick and locks. What I wanted to do, oh, I almost forgot. Now you can't pick the locks unless you are the engineer class, so starting to get some of the class specific stuff implemented, so that was like the first easier one. So you can't pick a lock unless you're engineer. But once you are engineer, I updated the UI a bit. If you get it wrong, you have to start over. So you know how many times you have to pick the lock. When you get one wrong, it resets. Again, these are all kind of set to really easy to pick. When the game comes out and as it gets closer and all the systems are good to go and everything's tested, they'll be skill-based on your level. So it'll be a little bit harder, lower levels, and easier to higher levels. So, all right. Let me pick a few other ones here. But right now, it's all pretty easy. That'll give you an opportunity to level stuff up. All right, so real quick at the bottom left, you'll notice kind of the lock picking thing, which stands for the engineer, and two little icons. Those are the first two traps. That UI may change a bit later. It's kind of tough to see, but essentially what you'll have is you'll have your little icons down there, and if I hit T, you can see they highlight between the two. So you can go over to here, and I have 40 scrap, and these particular two traps take scrap. There'll be other resources for other traps that we create, but essentially I can create one of those, and it shouldn't create any more. Alright. If you look at the bottom, I got one of the snares, which is little boots, and one of the attack ones. So like all the other specials, if you hit Q, you'll plop it down, and to tell the difference right now with the traps, the snare one has these 5 little pinkish lights, whereas the damage one has the one red one in the middle. They'll be these are just generic traps now. They'll get a lot cooler looking later as update models and things like that. So, but yeah, so now the class is getting more specific to their roles. One change is going to happen is the engineer isn't going to give out med kits like I originally intended. The forensic person will, and that'll give everybody something that's in their special. So like the forensic down here, it'll have different types of med kits that they can make, and you'll be able to make those med kits at the forensic table. Same when you process the clues, that there'll be another icon for processing or crafting. And like the engineer may get more in depth to where right now it's kind of creating traps. He may be able to break down things. We always got the processes for the occultists here, and these are all going to get specific. So they're all going to have essentially only they can access their tables. There isn't a table for the medium. However, there probably will be one for them. And the occultists right now, they don't really have anything but their special vision. So they may or may not get a little upgrade later, and then if so, then the tables will be adjusted accordingly. Alright, so that's that on the trap stuff. more news. I did finish, or not finish, but I did integrate the 2 medium-sized levels, as well as their area of danger, which I'll go into a little bit here. So again, the medium-sized levels are larger. You get 20 minutes this time, and again the times will be tweaked as we get more feedback, but you get a little bit longer time because it is a larger level. However, in the medium levels, you get introduced to area um, area effect of danger essentially. Now, right now, the there's only one type of area danger, um, but when the game goes in early access, there's going to be a lot more. But just to get everything tested, the first one is zombie spawner ones, and I briefly mentioned how they're going to work, but here's how they do work. So in these medium-sized maps, there will be a number of area spawners of all kinds, different animals, different demons, all lower level stuff, no bosses, nothing, but more of a nuisance than a threat. I mean, they can kill you if they gang up on you, and you can see a zombie right there. There's 2 zombies. They're just chilling. They're nowhere near as strong as their counterparts in the game, but they can kill you, and they will hunt you down. But how they work is they all have their little spawn. I'm pretty sure this one's, yeah. Alright, so kind of similar to the Wendigo zombies. They do come from, when their system is activated, you'll see like kind of a tombstone and a casket there. But look at that dude. He's like coming to get you. I think I probably have to slide his back. He's spawning on the roof there, so he might be a little angry. But how they work, somebody hit me. Oh. How they work is, or how I coded them is, you can have a set number active at any given time. Right now it's 4 for the zombie spawner. So how that works is, every time you, at the beginning of the match, 4 of them will spawn, and then as you kill one, there's a delay, a little timer between like 30 to 120 seconds, and then another one will spawn up to the max of 4 in that case, and they'll do that consistently through the entire match. So you won't be overrun by a large pack of them, but they're always going to be a little threat, and there's always going to be at least 2 spawning groups. There may be more, but minimum there's going to be 2. So essentially, right now they're just zombie spawners, so there should be another spawner somewhere, and you'll know it. You'll see the zombies kind of huddling around it. They differ from their counterparts. They're not. They won't aggro like across the map where the bosses and other things do. They hunt you down. These guys are kind of territorial. They'll stick around their area. Yeah, and there's some other over here. So there's got to be a tombstone somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah. And you can see there's one over there. 3 of them over there. They're just chilling. But they will kill you. They have pretty high damage output. Another one should spawn here soon. See if we can get him. Ammo too. Again, it could be up to 2 or 3 minutes before they spawn, which it's good. You don't want to instantly kill one and have another one spawn. Get a little bit of breather between them, but that way, in case you and your group going in and just wipe them out, there'll be a little bit of time before they respawn. That dude's heading over here, so he may come get us. Take him now. Alright. Yeah, they haven't spawned quite yet, which is good. It's a larger delay than before, but anyways. So there'll be other types. One of the ones that are going to work on is the wolf one. so there will be actually wolves that spawn, which will be pretty cool. See, he hit me. He hit pretty hard. He's like 15 in my health or something. There they are. There was 2 of them. And they'll probably be, you know, there's 3, so that was a closer one. But yeah, so that's how they work. And the wolves will be the same thing, except for they won't be coming out of Tombstone. They'll come out like a little cave area, something like that. And these larger levels, like I said, the medium ones just have that as an external threat. Nothing different from the other ones in terms of what you do. You still look for the corpse. A slight difference in these larger levels is since these are such large, you know, I didn't want to have the body spawn anywhere, because that would make it pretty complicated to locate in such a large area. So what happens is, on big maps like these, you'll notice like points of interest. Like you'll see that tower there. So it's, you know, that's something to look for the body. You'll see this pipe right here. You know, you might want to check in the pipe for the body. Which I think it's in this one actually. Yeah, there it is. There's a house over there. There's this one that actually has a pretty cool cave system as well, which is another thing you'll see in the medium-sized maps going up, is a little bit of variety in topography. The terrain is just a bit different. Now here, like, they're gonna be traps and things that you could fall in. Right now it's not set up completely. But if you look here, there's this hole, and down there it's pretty far, but you can go down there and you will get hurt. There's gonna be some boards up there so you can trip and fall, and then you're in the cave. And this cave I haven't added any, like, you know, rocks or anything in here, but this is a little cave. You can get in, you can get out of it as well. And the corpse could be in the cave, relics, anything like that could definitely be in the cave. But you won't see these in the small levels, but in these medium levels and larger levels, there's, you know, other areas to explore above and under the map. So that gives you a little bit of an idea about that. Same thing for the forest map as well, the medium one. You can see it's like a medium-sized map. Dangers is low. It's still, the area danger is still considered low because there's not that many that spawn in a bunch, and you get like 20 minutes. Now, real quick, I'll go over the next tier in maps, which is the large map, and I'll just do that while I'm playing this, give you an idea of the map while I'm talking. But the larger maps are going to have something pretty interesting in them. So they're going to be about twice the size of this map. So, you know, these are medium maps, so they're pretty large. But they're going to be broken into 2 parts. So besides being larger, you'll have a lot more area to explore. You'll do the same thing in part 1. You'll look for your clues, determine what boss you're going against. You know, look out for some area danger. Pretty much everything that's in the medium map. But when you destroy, or when you kill that boss, that essentially will drop the boss key, the real boss key, which will take you into the second part of the map. Now, the second part of the map is going to be vastly different. It's not going to be it's not going to be as cluttered. It's going to be an open area, because that's actually going to be a legit boss fight. And we already have one boss in mind that we're going to be implementing, which when I get closer I'll show you so you can see it. But it's a larger boss, so it's, you know, it's not going to fit in any of these buildings. So the area that you fight it in is large, so it can get around. When you go in the area, everybody's gonna kind of go into a little small area right before it. Similar to how you spawn or summon the boss here, you'll have to all essentially on your team, you know, ready up, you know, or you're ready to face it. Because what'll happen is, just to make the type of boss battle work, you're not going to be able to go back into the other area, because the other area, you know, is not going to be set up for the big boss to run through. So obviously we don't want you running back and forth there. So everybody ready up. um, and essentially then you'll go into the boss area, and the doors behind you or the fence, whatever we decide to put, will close, and it's off to fight the boss. And I mean, the boss is gonna have a few different stages. Like some of the bosses now have, have their at least 2 stages to them, whereas the other boss, besides being huge, could have like up to 4 or 5 different stages, and want to make them unique. So you're not just essentially shooting, like, killing them. So like for instance, some of the ideas we have for the first boss is, you'll get his life down a little bit, and it's gonna heal up, and then it's either gonna do some massive attacks around the area, which you're gonna have to kind of avoid, or it's gonna summon a few enemies, put a shield around itself, kind of like think about, ooh, yeah, here it is. Think about the bosses now, like just like maxed out on what they can do. And it's the same thing with the damage as well. So they'll hit harder and all this stuff. So you'll really have to figure out how to get around them or avoid them. Or there might be areas you can run into where you're safe. So there's gonna be a lot of that going on. And they're gonna be large. So pretty epic. You'll get a lot of rewards for killing them. And they're gonna differ from the other bosses. They're not gonna require like special ammo or anything like that. They are gonna be more of a, depending on how they fight, like destroy or something to kill them, or maybe you have to, activate some kind of special gun that's huge, or some demonic or holy weapon or something like that. It's gonna be pretty cool. And there's gonna be, when the first game or the early access comes out, it's gonna have one of those levels. So essentially there's really 4 small levels, 2 medium levels, and then 1 large one. So everybody will be able to experience all that's being offered, that we're going for at the first part. So kind of give everybody an idea of what's going on. Figured that'd be pretty cool. And then we can get feedback on that and all that. But those bosses will have their own little mention in the journal, the Devlog, and it'll have, just like the other one, have a picture of them and talk a little bit about them and kind of give you a heads up what's going on. But they're gonna have a tremendous amount of health and a lot of stuff you're gonna have to do to kill them. So it's gonna be, I mean, it's almost gonna be like an investigation on itself to figure out how you actually take them out. Like that detail won't be in the journal, but you might, the boss may drop down or something and give you time to go around and shoot it from the back or activate a device or something. Just something interesting. So essentially that's the final system to be implemented, is those types of bosses, and that should kind of round out the game experience. A lot of investigations going into it, and then some pretty epic big giant fight. The boss could be taller than a tree. Some fights like that. And then one last thing to talk about, I think I went over it a little bit too before, is jump scares. They got a big buff up in the single player demo, which was going to be coming out soon in June. But all that's going to transfer over to the other levels as well. I just worked on it first single player, and just going to implement all the multiplayer parts of that. But those are going to add more of a suspenseful atmosphere, and besides having the jump scares, they're also going to be like physical jump scares. Most of them right now are kind of, you won't get no physical harm from them. They're just there to scare, to scare, also kind of in the lore of the game, because there's some pretty creepy stuff. But the physical ones, those can actually hurt you, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it because everything's, it's all random. Let me see. Yeah. So sometimes this vent will get blowed off, and that's potentially one of the physical ones. Whereas when it gets blowed off, it hits you and hurt you. It's not implemented quite yet, but another cool one is the. Let's see. Yeah, it's not gonna do when I want to show it off, but I doubt this one will work too. But let's see. Yeah, some of them don't show because they're all, obviously I don't want all the jump scares to pop up at the exact same time. So it's good. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Um, but yeah, the physical ones, like for instance, you can be up in this bathroom. These stalls don't open now. They're not meant to. In this context, they eventually almost all the doors will be opening them up. But one of the jump scares potentially could be you go up to the door, and right around the time you get here, the door is just gonna explode open, hit you with some damage. But behind it will be a zombie, a demon, something like that. Just a one-off, but pretty scary. It can kill you if you're not close, if you're not smart enough with it, or if you're already hurt or something. But yeah, yeah, it's coming along pretty good. Just wanted to get this video out there. Next video may show some of the larger boss areas, but may not. Right now, all the systems in there, so there's not much to talk about now. So there might not be another video until I do get that up. But I'll do another video right before the Steam release as well for the next fest in June, at least. So you'll have a video then. So hopefully by then I'll have some more to talk about when it comes to the giant boss. But yeah, thanks for taking a look. And like and subscribe. Want more info on it? If you like what you see, do wishlist the game. Any comments is cool as well. Join the Discord. That should, obviously when the game picks up and it gets more popular, that's probably gonna get a lot more people in there. And I'll do a lot of cool stuff with that, with giveaways and things like that. So yeah, thanks again.